Hello chaps, this is going to be part 3 on how to paint an Ethereal Banshee. Now I can't remember where I left off, I know the camera's shut off, but I received a comment, can't remember who by, but it said something about dry brushing makes it look kind of chalky. I do have to agree with him. I come back to my old models the other day and came across my bottom of the mortise engine or coven throne, like the spirits types of thing, and I decided what would happen if I put a Thrucker green wash over it. I don't know what it's called now with the new Citadel paints, but the equivalent, and it turned out something like that. I'll try and give you a close-up for focuses. But that's all the effect. It's like a darkish green, which, in my opinion, that looks a lot better than that. It's a very small difference on camera for some reason, but definitely I prefer this one. It looks a lot more evil and ghost-like, and the armour looks a lot more natural. So all I did was apply a wash of Thrucker green, which I'm going to do to this model here. Now for the bigger this thing here, I used a huge brush like that. You can use any brush. To be honest, I do have other brushes that would probably be better. Going to be quite a big brush is recommended, but not overly huge. For this, one of these brushes will do fine as a little comparison. What we're going to do, it's best to shake up Thrucker green or whatever the new Citadel colour washes. It's just the dark green wash. Okay. And now, what we're going to do is apply a nice generous wash over to the bottom, making sure you let the paint go into the recesses, the dark bits, get their fair share of shadow, and don't be stingy with it. You really want the model to be completely coated with this. And if your paint runs out, again, don't be stingy, get some more. As you can see, just let it go all into the recesses. Try not to work it out, the recesses, but and with the what I should have done actually was when you get to the bits where you know light's going to hit a lot more, or it's just slowly I don't know how you describe it. There's a lot less ghostly smoke. You can just about what I do, I apply it on and I slightly wipe it off, so it still gets a little bit of the green, but it doesn't stand up too much, and it still gives you a nice variety of blending. Right. Again, it's very tricky because I'm going to try and do this all in one take. But yeah, when you get to the end, I recommend sort of dry brushing. I know it sounds very unusual with a wash, dry brushing a wash, but just dry brush it, and then if it gets too much, just wipe it off slightly. Yeah, and what's very important as well is not just in the front, but as soon as you've done the front of it, go on to the back, just so you know where you've done the start of the shading, end in the shading, because you don't want the shading to like start up here, then on the back you don't want to start down here somewhere. So just bear that in mind. Probably doesn't make sense, but you know. Right. Now, if you have any weapons like this, what I like to do, and it's going to be very picky because I need to... How do I just apply a coat to it? What will do it? It'll make it so it doesn't contrast as much as it did before. Yeah. So there it is. I know it's pretty short. It's only lasts a short amount of time, but just make sure with this rule you really go into the recesses. Don't be stingy. Apply a second coat if you want to. It looks quite bright on this camera, probably because I have a huge light above my head. But yeah, so it can turn this, which looks like the traditional Games Workshop one on the front, to sort of a darker colour. In my opinion, looks better. Okay, that's it for this little tutorial. I'll try and get something done that's good for the next video. Yeah, until then guys, cheerio.